Hey, what's up, folks? It is I, Will, with Exposing the IWC. And tonight, I hope all is well. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Raw a little bit. We're going to be talking a little bit about the Backlash card and if we think it's good or not. You can give me your opinion on that. Is it meh? Is it good? Are you excited? We can talk about that. But first, we're going to dive into the fallout from all these goddamn WWE releases and how the internet has reacted to it, some phoniness we've seen online. Do me a favor, hit like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And let's go ahead and dive right into it. Hey, what's up, Brianna? What's up, David? What's up, Jerry? So, releases. So you guys probably noticed, or maybe you didn't notice, if you follow me on Twitter, during this time, post WrestleMania, it always happens where talent starts getting released behind the scenes and in front of the camera. Start getting cut, contracts start ending, some contracts are not renewed, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. Now we had a series of releases, some bigger names than others, and during this entire time, I was very quiet, even though it was online. On Twitter, I was very, very quiet. Mostly because I refuse to engage in fake outrage. And that's what's happening most of the time within IWC. Oh, Shotzi, how could this be? What happened? Really? It's a bunch of foolishness. You didn't see Shotzi coming? That's a shock to you? It's all a bunch of nonsense. Like, most of these tweets, most of these engagement you're seeing online, it's a bunch of phoniness. You know, in your heart of hearts, who's on the chopping block, who's probably going to get cut. Okay? That's why I kept my mouth shut. Now, I've been hinting for the longest time that Shotzi and some of these other talent were probably going to get cut. It's kind of obvious if you're paying attention. Like, people know, but they engage in these fake outrage, this like bullshit engagement tweets, trying to get a lot of retweets and a lot of clout online. When they know better, when they know what's happening. Take, for example, now for me, there are three releases that were actually surprising to me. That was Braun Strowman, Cora Jade, and Dakota Kai. Now, Braun Strowman was kind of weird because he was having a solid run with Jacob Fatu, but at the end of the day, we don't know what's happening behind the scenes. We don't know some of the relationship issues or the attitude issues. I'm not saying these talent had problems, but we don't know what's going on. So this is anybody's guess why it happened. So he got released. That was kind of surprising because he was doing a lot of good work in terms of crowd engagement and crowd support. Dakota Kai was kind of interesting because she was in a faction with Damage Control. And I thought surely they'd let that play out differently. If you're going to end Damage Control, maybe end it properly. But as far as I know, Damage Control is over. Kind of like just done with it. No real storyline with Damage Control ending. She's gone. I thought that maybe you would do some like maybe a Damage Control storyline with Io Sky against Asuka, Dakota Kai, Kairi Sane. That could have worked. They decided not to do that. Now, Dakota Kai was complaining online a lot about not getting TV time. It's possible they thought, you know what? She's complaining a lot. Let's just get rid of her. Whatever. We'll cut her so she can have time to go wrestle because we're not confident that we're going to use her. We're not confident that's going to happen. So since she's complaining about it online, we'll cut her now. I don't know. Again, we're not there. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes. And then you have Cora Jade. Oh, what's up, WrestleKid? When is the draft going to happen? I don't know. I had to guess probably. I'm going to suggest that the rumor is that June, they're going to reduce SmackDown from 3 hours to 2 hours. So maybe they're waiting for that to happen before they allocate talent. They want that SmackDown number to come down to 2 hours first, and then they could properly allocate, okay, this talent can go here because 2 hours on SmackDown, there's more time on Raw. So maybe they're just waiting until SmackDown goes to 2 hours, but I don't know. I'd probably guess late May or early June, but I don't know. Now, Cora Jade, her release surprised me only because I thought she had a lot of people in her corner. CM Punk in her corner. Obviously, CM Punk's a fan of hers, and I thought the WWE brass was a fan of hers. Apparently not. Now, you look at her at the talent, I saw like what's in Dave LaGreca. What's the guy's name on Busted Open? He said that Cora Jade was excellent in the ring and excellent on the mic. See, comments like that will lose your credibility because it's bullshit. Cora Jade is excellent in the ring and excellent on the mic. I can't take your opinion serious. That is bullshit. Io Sky is excellent in the ring, right? Bianca Belair is excellent in the ring. Cora Jade is fine. Cora Jade is decent in the ring. Jada Parker is excellent on the mic, right? Becky Lynch, when she's in the zone, is excellent on the mic. Cora Jade is just fine. She's a fine talent, fine on the mic, she's fine in the ring, pretty girl with some star power, and that's it. Now the problem with that, Cora Jade, and people who are in her corner, problem with that is this is not 2005 or 2008 or whatever. We're in 2025. With the NIL system and with the caliber of athlete and talent they're bringing in, you can't just be a pretty face with decent mic skills and decent in-ring. You have to be exceptional and bring something special to the table. That's just the honest truth. If Becky Lynch was in this NXT, if Becky Lynch came through this NXT, she wouldn't make it. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. That's completely honest. She would not make it. Look at who Triple H is pushing right now. Look at who he likes. Who does Triple H like? Cozying up to Sol Ruka and cozying up to Last Legend. What do they have? Sol Ruka, athletic freak. Athletic freak of nature, bigger girl, right? Last Legend, bigger girl, super athletic, and good on the mic. Like, there's something they're bringing to the table that other talent does not have. Last Legend is super strong as well, right? There's something they're bringing. Can't just be a solid mic work, solid in a ring, and a pretty face. It's not going to work anymore. Not in this era. Got to bring something else to the table. That's why I tweeted out not too long ago. I tweeted out that Triple H is not looking for just your average talent anymore. You have to be something special. You have to bring something special to talent to the table because of the caliber of NXT athletes. That's just the situation we're in right now. You don't have to like it, but that's what's happening. Have to bring something to the table beyond just solid stuff. And Last Legend has something other talent doesn't have. Her size, her athleticism, her power, her mic work. Sol Ruka, freak athleticism, something different. Look at who got cut from NXT. Cora Jade, solid. Gigi Dolan, solid. What is Gigi Dolan and Cora Jade bringing to the table that different from the average NXT talent? I asked the chat, what is Cora Jade and Gigi Dolan bringing to the table from NXT that is going to make them stand out from a Last Legend or Sol Ruka in terms of athleticism, star power, athletic gifts? What is it? Nothing. That's truth, Wayne. Nothing. That's the reality of the situation. I'm not being mean. I'm not being. That's what it is. If this was a previous era, 10 years back in the day, they'd be fine. But not in this time. Not when you have Kalani Jordan knocking on the door. Not when you have freaking Sol Ruka and Last Legend. And even Thea Hale with her athleticism and her talent. The caliber of athlete is just different now. You can't just be okay. You gotta be amazing on the mic, which neither of them were. They're just solid. Or a freak athlete, and neither of them were. Neither of them were. Well, guess what happens? You get cut. Now, I will say, if you are a homegrown talent, you have a better chance of sticking around. For example, Tatum Paxley. See, when they put effort and energy into a talent that they brought up from scratch, they're more likely to give them more of a chance to hang around. Because the last thing they want to do is build up a talent and then release them and have them go somewhere else and become a star, right? That's why if you're homegrown, you have a longer leash. Now, I think Tatum Paxley, just in general, is a better talent than Cora Jade and Gigi Dolan. I think she's better athlete. I think she just has better character work. I think Tatum Paxley is awesome. I like Tatum Paxley a lot. But she's also homegrown. And they don't want to lose homegrown talent if they don't have to. So if you are coming in from the indies, when it comes to, if you have an indie talent and a homegrown talent and they're on the same level, the homegrown talent will stay around and the indie talent will get the step in. That's just how it is. And it makes sense when we think about it. So yes, they're going to push the homegrown talent. They're going to give them more of a shake. And it makes sense. So yeah, I saw people complaining about, oh, Chemical X is going to be, oh, really? What do you think the end game was for Chemical X? Honestly, Shotzi, Gigi Dolan, thanks for the subscription. Shotzi, Gigi Dolan, and Tatum Paxley. What's the end game? Main roster success? Maybe, that'd be cool, but if we're being real, probably not, right? It was never going to be in the cards. You should have saw the Shotzi cut coming a long time ago. Well, actually, it's not a cut. They're just not letting her. They're not re-signing her. So they're letting her contract expire. But I'm nervous for folks like I'm a fan of JC Jane. I like her more than Gigi Dolan, but I'm worried about her. What are you bringing to the table? I'm getting somewhat worried about Fallon Henley, but Fallon Henley has some size to her. She's a good athlete, and she can go in the ring. I'm hopeful to give her a chance, but with the caliber of talent, have to bring something to the table. Look at Lola Vice. In May background, she brings something to the table. That's just a reality situation. You thought Cora Jade wasn't getting released just because she's friends with CM Punk. No, I didn't think that. I thought that she had supporters behind the scenes. If you're looking at the talent objectively, I could see the cut coming. Because she's just okay with talent. She's been there for a couple of years now, or more than a couple of years, 3-4 years, and the talent isn't really blossoming, in my opinion. So I saw that coming. Hayden and Katana, they'd be great in TNA. Yep, they'll be used. They're a good tag team, but I never thought Triple H liked them because it's obvious. He's not a big fan of them, clearly. But I think in TNA, in the Knockouts division, Hayden and Katana will have a good run. Dakota Kai being released means it's time for Damage Control to break up. That's clearly what's going to happen. Because I don't think it makes any sense to cut her without resolving Damage Control. How do you explain it? Hey, what happened to Dakota Kai? Is that what's going to happen? Asuka and Kyrie will come up and say, hey, where's Dakota? I don't know. Well, anyway, doesn't make any sense, right? But that's that. That's that. So, all this fake outrage. And then Dave Meltzer comes out there and says, oh, by the way, with his irresponsible reporting, he comes out and says, oh, by the way, the WWE said, and this is my report, that talent on the main roster got cut because they're too expensive, and NXT talent got cut because they're lazy. So, of course, the talent, they have to come out and defend themselves because their report is that they're lazy. Dave Meltzer is such a clown. I would not report that. I would never report that because it lays a blanket over a lot of talent, and we don't know exactly what are the individual reasons why some talent got cut. Some talent may have problems backstage. Some talent might be lazy. I don't know. But to just say, oh, NXT talent were lazy and they weren't progressing, so they got cut. That's just ridiculous. I don't like that at all. And of course, Gigi Dolan and Cora Jade came out there to say their piece. Now, Cora Jade took it a step further, and she said that, hey, I was working at another gym because I was getting body shamed by my bosses and the talent and coworkers and fans, right? That, oh my God, that's like catnip for the WWE haters, right? Oh my God, what? Body shamed? This is awful. WWE hasn't changed. Same old WWE, same old Vince WWE with no context. They don't know what's going on. They don't know if it's one trainer or two trainers or one talent or one fan. They don't know. She says she got body shamed. So my response was, I was cool and calm. I was like, drop some names. Because if you don't do that, you're leaving a lot up to interpretation. You're leaving a lot up to people guessing. Is it that person? Is it this person? Is it that person? Name some names. Why not? You're gone. You got released. So my thought was, go ahead and name some names. You shouldn't have to. That's my response. And then the reaction was, of course, got your fake outrage. And that led me to, so I saw this tweet. So I'm not necessarily happy or proud of this, but on Twitter, I was scrolling, getting annoyed about the fake outrage, right, that we always see. And some gentleman decided to tweet about Corjade. Now, this person has since blocked me. I don't blame them. Honestly, I don't blame them. This person tweeted something along the lines of, how could Corjade get body shamed? That's awful. It's terrible. Yada, yada, yada. All it took, so I was already annoyed. It took like 5 seconds. Okay. Search your name, Charlotte Flair. And of course, what do you know? Took me about 10 seconds to find Charlotte Flair looks terrible. Oh, this is you? So I tweeted it. I will admit, this is stuff I don't actually do. I'm not actually that proud of it. I don't do this. I probably won't do it again. But I was just annoyed at the time. To be honest with you, I was very much annoyed. So like, you know what? Is this you? My guy, is this you? Probably won't do this again. To be honest with you, I probably won't do it again. But that's just how, this is how you show you my mindset at the time. My mindset, I was very, very annoyed with the IWC in general. I went after this guy. Was it necessary? No. Would I do it again? Probably not. But the fake outrage and the hypocrisy I see online when it comes to WWE and certain things in wrestling, it's just annoying to me. Be consistent. This is all I ask. Be consistent. Either you come after everybody or you don't. Either you call out all the body shaming or the bad habits from the IWC or you don't. Don't pick and choose. Don't be wishy-washy. Be consistent. That's all I ask. I have no problem with you. Even if you disagree with me, that's fine. All I ask is you just be consistent. That's all. Yeah, this thing, I do not think this is going to blow up. To be honest with you, I did not think it was going to blow up. This is a frustration tweet. Oh, this you? Ha ha ha. Went about my business. Came back 3.4 thousand likes. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I won't be doing this going forward, but I was just annoyed. That's all. I was a little annoyed. Indy Hartwell is now in TNA. Yep, she sure is. You'll see a lot of WWE talent flocking to TNA, which is probably the right choice and the right decision. I don't blame them one bit. Now, I saw somebody say that Dakota Kai should go to AEW. Don't love that idea. She'll get paid. If she wants to take Tony Khan's money, by all means, do it. Do I like the fit? No. I feel like it'd be very similar to Deonna Purrazzo's booking. Deonna Purrazzo was a good wrestler. She kind of like just kind of hanging out in the back, doing some Ring of Honor stuff, doing some collision matches here or there. But I think Dakota Kai's booking would be very similar. She'd be pushed very hard at first, like always, and then she'd fall back to the bottom of the pack, I think, and be in the same category as Deonna Purrazzo. Do I love that for Dakota Kai? No. Maybe she should just go be a Twitch streamer, because she said if she wasn't going to be a wrestler, she'd be a Twitch streamer. Got a lot of followers. You could do that. Do TNA, go to Japan. But AW, if you just want Tony Khan's money, he'll pay for you. He'll give you money. Take that money. But if you want to be featured on TV, I don't love it for Dakota Kai. But that's just me. By all means, you have bills. You got bills. Take the con man's money. He will pay you. Deonna or Ruby Soho, same difference. What's the real reason they let Dakota Kai go? She was complaining. And I don't think they have any long-term goals for her or long-term plans. And they're calling up a lot of talent, I'm sure. Roxanne might be going up. Giulia might be going up. Stephanie might be going up. Maybe even Fallon Henley and JT Jane. Lash Legend going up. A lot of talent, I think, are going up. So they asked themselves, well, she's complaining now. You'll probably still be complaining because she's not gonna get a lot of time. So we'll just move on from her now. You know. Mari Gold for Dakota Kai would be cool. That'd be cool. That'd be real cool. All right, so that's my thought process on the whole WWE releases. I mean, it is what it is. Not surprised. Okay, people want to act like they're surprised, but it's not really surprising. With Mariah May, Anthony, I think she's going to the WWE. I think she's going. If she wasn't, I don't know why you're waiting this long to resign and move on with your career. I think the perfect time to bow out of AEW is now. Had a very good storyline with Tony Storm, wrapped up. Will you ever be able to peak that? No. Now, when it comes to money, because I always say, WWE does not do bidding wars. Like, I see this all the time when it comes to Tekla or Mariah May. It's all bullshit. We all know now, with Stephanie Vaquera's situation, we know now that the WWE will not engage in a bidding war. They'll let AEW have the best offer and they'll move on. Same as what they did with Stephanie Vaquera. So if Mariah May wants more money, she'll go to AEW. If she doesn't, she'll probably end up in WWE. Right now, I'm going to say 70-30, with 70 being WWE right now. That's where my mind is going. All right. Dakota Kai and Cora Jade are injury prone. They have had big injuries. That is true. Honestly, I thought Asante the Adonis was in trouble because I felt like they were ending a lot of storylines in order to set up the cut. We saw Metaphor split up cuts for Jakara Jackson and what's his face, right? I thought they had Carmen Petrovic break up with Asante the Adonis to have so they could cut him, but he's still there. I'm surprised because I don't think he's being used, and I don't think he's on the NXT contract. Yeah, or Mensa, yeah. All right, let's move on. How about something else beyond these freaking releases? I'll ask you. What do you want to talk about before I see something? Because if I find something first, then I'm going to talk about that. Oh, by the way, there are NXT talent on the come up, like Lainey Reed, very talented. They're excited by her. So you have to make room. NXT is overloaded with talent. So you have to make room for the people who are on the come up. This girl, I'm telling you, homegrown, and she's talented as hell. She's coming. You have to make room. You've been there for like 3-4 years. Either call them up or cut them, because there's other talent on the come up that need that time. I'm telling you, Lainey Reed is a demon. That I mean, she's good in the ring. Southern Sass, she's going to be very, very good. Look out for her this year. All right. Let's talk about Becky Lynch. So Becky Lynch went viral tonight or today by coming out and saying the men are old. So why do the women have to move on? Like the older women are said they have to move aside for the young talent, put over the young talent. But why is that the case? Why doesn't that happen for the men? They're not spring chickens over there, right? Here's what she had to say.
One would ever do. And you do deserve credit for that. The question is, what does that look like when put in the context of today's women's division?
I could continue to do what I'm doing, be great.
Okay.
But just beat all these younger people, these newer people.
Well, we'll see if it begins.
It's not that hard.
Right.
It's not that hard.
Right.
But for some reason, it seems to be hard. And it seems to be like harder on the women's division. Like, you look at the men's. Like, who you got that's hot and young over there? No. You got a bunch of old lads beating each other up. And nobody's saying nothing. Nobody's saying, like, oh, move over. Move over, CM Punk. Move over, Seth Rollins. Nobody's saying that. But they'll say it to me. So who's the bad guy?
No, I mean, I get it.
Why am I supposed to move over?
First of all, I want to say that I love heel Becky Lynch. I love heel Becky Lynch for a bunch of reasons. She has less of a filter. She's funny. She has more freedom to cook. And I just love her in this mode. She's 100% correct, by the way. I mean, when it comes to the online fans, they are very quick to say that certain talent need to put over the younger talent. Certain talent got to move over and make way. But on the flip side, for the men, not the case. Now, this takes place all across multiple industries, even in Hollywood. The older you get, sometimes they say, okay, old lady, move aside for the younger talent, right? And with male actors, you can be 50, 60 and still be booked in the same type of roles. Becky Lynch is 100% correct. 100% correct. She's 38. I think Seth Rollins is 38, Roman 39, Jay 39, LA Knight is 42. I think Drew's in his 40s. CM Punk is 46. Why does she got to move aside and the older folk don't? On the men division don't. It's a valid point. Now, this thing took off like wildfire online. Some people had a lot to say. It was kind of hilarious. Because Becky and Charlotte Flair have been title holders so many times, it does nothing for anyone. If they're over and they're popular and there's good storylines, who cares? That's my thought process. My response was, okay, well, I guess no title reigns for Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins, right? Because they've been champions all the time. All I ask, I'm not saying that the men should be like, get CM Punk out of here. I'm not suggesting that. All I ask is be consistent. That's all I ask. We can disagree, but be consistent. That's all I ask. I'm not saying CM Punk needs to get out of here. For whatever reason, even with the women's division, younger talent get more of a chance. Look no further than Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton at 25 won the Money in the Bank, and now she's champion. Where is the male equivalent? Where is the male equivalent Money in the Bank winner? Where is the male equivalent push? Vince was more likely to do that. Vince was trying to push Theory. Triple H? Nah. Gotta earn your dues with Triple H. Gotta be in your 40s, late 30s. Vince McMahon was more likely to push a young talent on the men's division than Triple H. It's interesting. Not right or wrong. Just interesting. And I think people need to be more consistent with their commentary. Or come across as a jackass. Didn't we see Charlotte Flair lose to Tiffany and Rhea Ripley at Mania? Sure did. Does Becky and Lyra win at Backlash? Or Lyra win at Backlash? Could Becky return and cost? I said Becky. Can Bayley return and cost her the match? The whole Lyra Becky thing is interesting, right? For a couple of reasons. Speaking of Becky, Becky Lynch is feuding with two women right now. When she opened up her promo, she opened up talking about Bayley and then transitioned to Lyra. She said Becky was a loser and trash, and Lyra was recyclables. So she thinks Bayley is more of a loser than freaking Lyra is, right? So the feud is really with Bayley, really, right? Because Bayley is who she took out originally. So my question is, what happens at Backlash? Does she take out Does Bayley take out Becky Lynch during the match? Does Becky win the title? I'm not sure what they should do. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. Becky being champion could be big for that belt. But should Lyra lose the belt so soon relative to Becky's return? They could do the same thing they did in NXT, right? Becky Lynch showed up at NXT. She immediately took the belt off of Tiffany. Immediately. Held it for a bit, then dropped it to Lyra. But it could have Becky Lynch win the belt immediately at Backlash and then tell some storylines. As long as Lyra is taken care of, I'm fine. I don't want Lyra to be on the back burner while Becky and Bayley have a thing. That's my only concern with taking the belt off of Lyra right now. I don't want her to get lost. So if you can guarantee that Lyra won't get lost, go ahead, have Becky be champion, the heel champ. But right now we have a babyface champion, the EOS guy, who won't be cutting any promos really. Won't be doing that. She won't be doing that much storytelling with her words. But maybe you want to have a contrast to EO, that being a babyface Becky with the belt as a heel. That makes sense creatively. So maybe you do that. What say you? I'll ask the chat. Do you want Becky Lynch to win? Or do you want Lyra to retain? I think Becky might need a certain horsewoman for Becky might need a certain horsewoman for Bayley and Lyra. And who's that? Charlotte? Charlotte? Now, I did not think about that. Can you imagine a heel tag team or a heel pairing of Becky and Charlotte Flair? That's fresh. That's fresh. You've never seen Becky and Charlotte Flair as a heel duo together. They're on good terms. They're friendly in real life. They made up. They're on good terms. Can you imagine if Charlotte moves to Raw, you get a Charlotte Becky? It won't happen. But that's intriguing. You have the establishment together. And yes, Becky Lynch is the establishment at this point. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch together. It'd be kind of cool. Don't see it happening, but it'd be kind of cool. Fresh. Yeah, they're on good terms. Charlotte Flair said that wants Becky Lynch to induct her into the Hall of Fame. They've been on good terms for a while now. That's intriguing. That's interesting. I didn't think about that. Becky should win, Wayne said. Becky should win. Wrestling Kid says. Bayley is the main reason Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch dropped the beef. If you remember at War Games. Are you excited for Mayu versus Io at Summer Destiny? If it happens, yes. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Like I said before, like I've been saying the entire time, the fix was in. Io Sky and Mayu and Rossi had it all planned for a year. Last year, Io said, I know who I want to wrestle next year. Very coy about it. She was coy. Who? Io said, shh. But I know who I want to wrestle. That was Mayu. We now know, according to the commentator, Honey, he said that Mayu was Honey, told him last year she was coming. He said that Mayu, Tam Nakano, and Giulia were the three that told Rossi to make the new promotion. So yeah, that was always going to happen. All right. Are you excited for? It's good to hear you can make the tag belts good again by putting it on them. Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch tag team. That'd be huge. That would be huge. All right, let's talk about not Cora Jade. Let's talk about something else here. How about let's talk Giulia for a second. I tweeted this out. I said, hey, for those of you who don't watch NXT, aren't familiar with her Stardom work or her Mari Gold work, how are you feeling about Giulia? You like what they're doing? Does it make sense? Are you intrigued? Do you want to see more? And the responses were kind of interesting here. I personally do not like her booking. Okay, honestly, yes. I prefer how she's being presented on the main roster. Yes, she's so mid. Okay, I don't agree there. And unimportant. She does nothing for ratings. No one cares. No, not at all. F no. This is a fair statement. I feel like I don't know her yet. I understand that. Gosh, relax. There's a short window for Backlash after Mania. He's getting them exposure. Roxy's staying. I think Giulia is getting a shot at a spot on Raw. Okay. Yes. No. Introducing her to a bigger audience. Getting her name out there. Make her look like Roxanne's sidekick. I like the heel spin. No. Not at all. Does for me, yes. I see her as no threat. Nope. No. So very mixed, as you can see. Very, very mixed. Here's my thoughts on her booking right now. I think some people are disappointed. They thought they're getting something else. They thought they were getting Io Sky or an Asuka in ring. That's not what you're getting. What separates Giulia from other folk in Stardom or in the Joshi scene was her character work, her storytelling, and her charisma. Now that comes through easier with her native language of Japanese in Japan. When she's transitioning from Japan to America in WWE, it's harder to show off those skills because English is not your first language. So you look at solely the in-ring, which is good in-ring, but not excellent. This is not Mayu Watani. This is not Saya Kamatani. This is not even Hazuki or Azumi or Starlight Kid or any of these people. She's good in the ring, but she's not special. She doesn't pop. It's not Stephanie Vaquer. It's not Io Sky. But she can't get over on her in-ring alone, like Io can. Io, she don't gotta speak a single speck of English. Her in-ring speaks for itself. She has offense that will explode. There's offense that'll get crowd support. Giulia does not have that, so she had to add some other stuff, some other intangibles that you can't measure. But it's harder for that to bleed through in America versus Japan. But it is what it is. Now that's one thing she has to overcome. And then when it comes to the main roster, she's being paired with Roxanne Perez, coming in to like beat up some talent. Now what's good is that she's attacking the top of the top, right? She's attacking Io Sky. She's mixing it up with Rhea Ripley. That's all good. But some people would argue she's feeling like a sidekick or like a afterthought to Roxanne right now. Spoiler alert. Roxanne, to be honest with you, is better in the ring, in my opinion. That's not a slight. Roxanne is great in the ring. What are you bringing to the table that is going to make you stand out? That's the whole theme of this stream. What are you bringing to the table that is different, that is awe-inspiring, that will get you over beyond your mic skills, because you can't cut an English promo right now, unfortunately, right? Jada Parker can get over on her mic skills alone because she's from here. If Jada Parker went to Japan, she'd be in trouble because her mic skills wouldn't come through. So it'd just be aura and in-ring, right? It'd be harder for her. Same situation for Giulia, right? It's common sense stuff, right? You'll be fine. If you're expecting another EO, then you're going to be in trouble. But if you're expecting a good talent with star power and a great look, because if we're being honest, that's why Triple H wanted her. He didn't want her because of her in-ring. He wanted her because of this. That's his reality situation. Looks like a star. She carries herself like a star. We wanted her even back in 2019. That's why. If you could take Giulia and combine her with Azumi or Starlight Kid, then you have an exceptional talent that could get over anywhere. Not the situation. So Triple H, if he wants to invest the time and energy in Giulia, gotta be creative. Because you can't get over on the in-ring alone. You can't get over on the mic skills alone. So gotta get creative. If you're truly invested in Giulia's stock, you gotta get creative, that's all. If Roxanne keeps losing, we're gonna be sitting around in 6 months wondering why she's not over with the crowd, getting no reaction. I agree. Now, Roxanne is good in the ring, but ultimately she'd be fine, similar to Io. Remember, when Io first came on the scene, she was getting no reaction. Good in the ring, same in the ring, no reaction with damage control. Over time, as a babyface, maybe that's what's going to happen with Roxanne Perez. Same situation. Maybe Roxanne goes babyface, starts getting a reaction, right? Maybe. But Io Sky, when she first came into main roster, it was crickets. But over time, the in-ring got her over. Similar to Lyra Valkyria. Lyra got over on the in-ring. I agree. Gotta start winning. I think this tag match between Roxanne, Giulia, and Rhea and Io, I'm going to guess that Rhea and Io can't get on the same page, which leads to a Roxanne and Giulia win. Because if they lose again, then what are we doing? That's too many L's. I think Giulia might lose tonight, in fact. Here's a question. Who's winning tonight? Giulia or Jordynne Grace? Big match tonight. Number one contenders match between Jordynne Grace and Giulia. Who wins? Read my comment up. Here's what I'll tell you, Ministry of Dark. Send in a super chat. Want me to read your comment every time? Send in a super chat. That'll get you read. Giulia is good in the ring. Is she Io or Mayu? No. But she has amazing charisma. I agree. We agree right there. We're on the same page. Agreed. Ministry of Dark. Jordynne Grace. I got bills to pay. Good on you. I think Giulia will, thanks to Roxanne. I think she's going to win because of Roxanne. Does Roxanne want to see Giulia win the NXT title? Did you want to see that happen? I don't know. I don't know the extent of the Roxanne-Giulia relationship. What's the extent of it? How far does it go? You know? How far does it go? We'll see. We'll see what happens tonight. What happens to Jordynne Grace? I think the loser gets called up. Whoever loses gets called up for sure. Jordynne Grace loses, she's getting called up. If Giulia loses, she gets called up. The winner may stay a little longer in NXT, but I don't know. They may both go up. For all I know, I don't know. I don't know shit. Again, I'm honest. I don't pretend to know what's going on. It's all speculation. Let's see here. Anything else? How about, do you think Evolve 2 is happening? You say it's still happening. There's been no confirmation at all beyond what was it? Wrestle votes? There's been no actual confirmation of that. So I don't know how to answer that question. Is it still happening? Was it happening ever? I don't know. Will Giulia or Jordynne Grace win their match tonight? Could EOS? Oh, deleted. Okay. How about Rhea Ripley getting her own PLE? Hilarious. So we have Takeover Perth. Crown Jewel Perth on Saturday, October 11th, which just so happened to be Rhea Ripley's birthday. I'm telling you, folks, find somebody that loves you like Triple H loves Rhea Ripley. The woman, am I supposed to believe it's a coincidence that her birthday is on the same day they're going to Australia to Perth? Coincidence? I think not. So yes, her birthday is in October, the same day as Crown Jewel. Now, I believe, because according to the reports, they're still doing the champion versus championship match. The whole Crown Jewel belt bullshit, that's still happening. That tells me that Rhea will be champion heading into this PLE. So she can have the birthday match of champion versus champion, whatever that is. She wins. On her birthday, she gets the Crown Jewel belt. Yada, yada, yada. More gifts for my daughter, Rhea Ripley. Right? So that means you gotta beat somebody. You gotta beat somebody before then. I believe it's probably likely that Rhea beats Io at SummerSlam for the belt. So she can walk into Perth as champ. But that's just reckless speculation. But it makes sense to me. What say you? Announcing Evolution 2 during Backlash is interesting, considering there's just one women's match on the Backlash card, by the way. One women's match on that card. Is that the right time to announce Evolution 2? You tell me. Could Io show up to cost Giulia? Possible, especially if Roxanne gets involved. If Roxanne is down there, I can see Io pop up to make the save. Sure. Yeah, I think. How long do we think Triple H will let that ride? The whole Io Sky is undefeated against Rhea Ripley. How long do we think he'll let that roll? I think this summer it ends. I think this summer Rhea Ripley gets her win over Io. That'll be that. But I could be wrong. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's look at that Backlash card now. WWE Backlash. Let's look at the card. I wonder if the WWE has the nice graphics on the website, and I'll use that rather than on a Wikipedia or something like that. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, nope. That's not what I want. Here we go. All right. Let's do this. That's good enough. All right. John Cena versus Randy Orton. The two old guys. Speaking of old guys, or should I say old lads like Becky Lynch. Got John Cena against Randy Orton. Randy's gonna lose, of course. John Cena will cheat. This match will be very slow, very deliberate. We gotta spice it up with interferences, maybe some run-ins, maybe some cheating. I don't know, but this match is gonna be a snore fest. They don't have like good storytelling, some good story beats, something like that. I don't know, but I'm not looking forward to this main event, but it will be the main event for sure. Match of the night? Nah. How about we do next match, which is gonna, oh look, here we go. We got Lyra Becky. I'm gonna say the one women's match, by the way, the one women's match. I do believe that this storyline is a top women's story on Raw. And then somebody said, well, it's the only story. Agreed. It is the only story on Raw for the women. What makes the most storytelling sense? Probably Becky winning. I'm gonna go Becky winning. Now, know what'd be cool? Have Becky get some backup from NXT. I don't want to see Becky this cheat to win. I want her to call someone up from NXT to help her. So she had like a faction or something like that. Especially considering we may be getting Lyra and Bayley against Becky and company. So who's that second person? Charlotte? Probably not. Can you imagine if she recruited Lash Legend? Imagine if Lash Legend showed up to help Lyra. You get Lash and Becky, with Lash being like hired gun. Or who's a heel that's ready to get called up? Fallon Henley, JT Jane, all that could work. Well, actually, NXT, JT Jane and Fallon Henley are beefing. I love Lash. Call up Lash with Becky. Good spot for Lash Legend. You can do Becky and Lash against Bayley and Lyra. Who says no? Who says no? I'm gonna say Becky wins. I'm gonna say Becky wins. What about this one? Pat McAfee and Gunther. Like the promo yesterday. Good promo. Am I excited for this? No. I think McAfee will put in a good fight. Maybe have a near fall. But in the end, he should get destroyed. He should get destroyed by Gunther very, very badly. Who makes a save? I don't know. But Pat should lose convincingly in the end. But yeah, this is a man match. It's man. I'm not that invested. Hey, they may put on a banger. I don't know, but I'm not that invested. I'm not that invested right now. This will probably be match of the night. Probably. Fatal 4-way. Jacob, Drew, Damian, LA Knight. Drew is getting a lot of he's giving this match a lot of credibility for me. I think Drew is great. Doing great work. He is almost 40. Yeah, 42, 42, 39 from Drew. And then how old is Jacob Fatu? 33. Our match tonight, I think, here. I'm excited for this. This will be fun. Jacob retains, of course. Who does he pin? He pins LA Knight. Let's move on. Fun. This is Penta against Dom. I forgot this match was happening on Backlash. Fun match. Dom retains Hal, Finn Balor, Carlito, JD McDonough. Judgment Day will get involved here. Maybe even freaking Raquel. And yeah, this would be fun. Maybe this leads to the show on June 9th with AAA. Maybe that bleeds into that show, but I got Dom retaining here. Makes sense. This will be a fun match. I'm excited for this. And that's it. Wow. That's it. Not the most compelling show, but maybe it'll be a surprise. I don't know. Rhea does not deserve to dethrone Io. What do you mean she doesn't deserve? Who deserves to do it? Deserve is an interesting word. A very interesting word in pro wrestling, the word deserve. Because it's all scripted. So who deserves to win it? Who deserves to win any match? I ask you. Five matches, yep. Just 5. If Becky wins, could Bayley defeat her at SummerSlam for the women's IC title? Sure. What happens to Lyra, though? Does Lyra move on to EO? Probably not. That's face against face. I don't know what's going to happen with Lyra if that's the case. I think Lyra should probably be the one to dethrone Becky. So I think we do a tag team situation. I think Bayley and Lyra against Becky and someone else. Who that someone else is, I don't know yet. But I think it'll be a lot of tag teaming going forward. A lot of heel promos from Becky that I'm excited about. So yeah, that'll be fun. Raw a solid show. Main event, Jey Uso, I'll give him credit. The main event was fun. I like CM Punk coming out there. So that's a feud. That's against CM Punk. I like the whole random ass title match. It felt like it was going to be, it felt like the show was very dynamic. You're getting like title matches coming out of nowhere for the world title. I like that. So Jay facing Seth on Raw just tells me Jay won't lose well, I won't say that. That's not his main feud. That's why the match happened on Raw. The main feud is CM Punk Seth. Like CM Punk and his crew, so Paul Heyman, CM Punk, my mistake, Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, and Braun against Sami Zayn, CM Punk, right? If there's a third person, I'll say Logan Paul, but maybe Logan Paul will join Seth and Braun Breaker. Be kind of funny. Logan Paul, Seth, Braun Breaker, Jay, CM Punk, Sami Zayn. It'll work. It could work. I don't know. Yeet. I think they did this so people could stop talking or taking Seth, saying that Seth is Jay's ender. Oh, I see what you're saying. Now, who is his ender? Who is Jay's ender? It won't be Gunther. It still might be Seth Rollins, to be honest with you. Still might be Seth. It still might be Seth. All right, folks, we're an hour in. Now I'm just going to answer questions. What do you guys have to say? Any questions from the chat? What you got? I hear voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand it. There was some fallout from releases. Still people talking about the releases. A lot of talent coming out to defend themselves because of Dave Meltzer report. Are we excited about NXT tonight? It might be Seth, but not right now. Yeah, not right now. SummerSlam at the earliest. I think they gave him a reign that goes to at least SummerSlam, at least. Giulia and Roxanne attacked Io on Raw last night. Io could show up on NXT tonight. Sure he could. And that'll lead into next week. If Io show up to take out Roxanne, Giulia gets surprised, and Jordynne Grace wins. Can't have Jordynne Grace. Well, she can win, but you can't have Giulia and Roxanne taking too many L's. But I agree, that makes sense. Io coming up to screw Giulia by taking out Roxanne. So Giulia gets distracted and Jordynne Grace hits the finisher, get a roll up, and that's it. And then that leads into the Raw match, which would be Rhea Io versus Giulia and Roxanne Perez. Fun stuff ahead, I guess. Fun stuff ahead. Will Zarya or Kalani win tonight? Oh yeah. That match is happening tonight. Zarya or Kalani Jordan? That depends. I think Kalani Jordan wins. So I think the Zarya Skoruka thing is more of a slow burn. So Kalani will win. And then Soruka will get her win over Kalani Jordan. Cause remember, I think it was her first title defense. Kalani Jordan beat Soruka for title defense. So now Soruka will get her win back on Kalani Jordan. Remember that match that Dave Meltzer said was like an Osprey match, and the other fool from Wrestling Observer was making fun of the match, saying it was very spotty and wasn't real wrestling. Hypocrites, man. Nothing but hypocrites. That's all they are. Yeah, I think Soruka will face Kalani Jordan at the upcoming show. What's the upcoming NXT show? I don't remember. The one that's been advertised recently. What's the upcoming for NXT? Tickets, let's see. Can't remember the name of the thing. Kalani because of Soul. I think Soul is a distraction. Interesting. Interesting. Who do you think is winning between Nia and Jade? Nia Jax. Jade pinned Nia Jax last week. Nia Jax is a heel. I think they do Nia Jax Tiffany. So I have Nia Jax winning. How? I don't know. Will it be Candice LeRae getting involved? Will it be straight up? I don't know, but I have Nia Jax winning the match for sure. They're not going to do They're not going to do Tiffany Jade right now. We're going to get Tiffany Nia Jax for sure. Remember, Nia Jax attacked Tiffany bound to back the other day. So Battleground, that's it. That's what it is. Battleground. NXT Battleground in Tampa Bay. This show. Well, I'm trying to remember here. So yeah, we're gonna get Soruka against Kalani Jordan here, and probably Stephanie Jordynne Grace. Probably. If Nia Jax wins, Nia wins. I also owe her a little bit because Nia Jax, I think, should have been on the Mania card. She should have had a match on Mania and didn't. So that'd be good for her. I can't get behind this faction yet. Not yet. Dark State. Don't care. They're facing Joe Hendry and the Tank. That'd be fun. Big one. Honey wins. Dark State loses, probably, but I'm not sure. Who knows what's happening with Oba? And I have Jordan Grace winning. Maybe EO will get involved. Could Jordan Grace turn on Stephanie? She's a face for now. Don't see the heel turn coming. She's a face. Could she beat Stephanie? That depends. Stephanie getting called up? Yes or no? Yes or no? That'll be your answer to the question. If Stephanie's getting called up, she loses at Battleground to Jordan Grace. We'll have to see. I guess we'll have to see. All right, folks. If it's Kalani versus Sol Ruka at NXT Battleground, does Zarya cost Kalani the win, or does Sol win clean? Sol wins clean. Kalani beat her clean. Get Sol Ruka her clean win. Only fair. Clean win for Sol Ruka. Clean win. We're going to get a long reign for Sol Ruka. So they got to do a slow burn for Zarya. A slow heel turn for Zarya first. And then she beats Sol Ruka eventually. That's my thought process. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Makes the most sense. Me at least. Did I miss something crucial from Raw? Again, good main event. I give Jey Uso his credit. Fun. Seth Rollins did a good job carrying Jey Uso. It all worked out great. What happens if Zarya wins tonight? Then they do Zarya against Sol Ruka, and Sol Ruka wins, and Zarya, they build resentment. Starts resenting her even more. Right now, she already resents her, but if Sol Ruka beats her, she's gonna get even more upset. Then gonna continue this slow burn until Zarya finally snaps. She snaps on her. Oh yeah, Finn was talking to Roxanne Perez. What's up with that? What do you guys think? What do you guys think is happening there with Finn and Roxanne Perez? I joked that Finn will start a new faction. What if Roxanne and Giulia are being prepped to defeat Liv and Raquel? So Finn tells Liv and Raquel that, hey, you guys need to take on Roxanne and Giulia. Prove that you're the best. And that's when Giulia and Roxanne win, and Finn is all happy because the party is a plan. Right? Battle Royal is tonight, right? Who's winning that? Yeah, I don't know about that. Battle Royal, I don't know anything about that. TNA talent will be there. We'll see how that works out. We'll see. Are we excited for the Battle Royal? Did Jay do different moves? Not really. Just spear, super kick, typical stuff. Miles Bourne. Evolved talent be there as well. Gonna see some evolved talent, I believe. It's funny because this was the same time frame where Liv started talking to JD last year. Yeah, I wonder what's gonna mean for Roxanne and Finn. What does it mean? Are they gonna join Damage Control? Will Finn make a new faction? Will Finn and Giulia take out Liv and Raquel by way of Finn Balor? I don't know. But it's interesting. He's giving her something. So Triple H likes Roxanne. He's giving her something. We'll see what comes of it. We'll see. Liv is so cooked. Why you say that? She's shooting a movie. Or, I mean, she had to face Roxanne she's cooked? Maybe, I don't know. I've been impressed with Liv in the ring, so. Oh yeah, I like this tweet. Make sure you got this. Bailey on Raw recap was so funny. She addressed a lot of the complaints about her while still managing to stay in character. She's aware of everything, yes. So go and watch that recap. Becky Lynch was hilarious. She was hilarious. She addressed Becky Hogan. She addressed all the little like Sports Illustrated ranking of her. All these talent who say they're not online, they lie. They're not tweeting, they're online. They read all this shit. Becky Lynch clearly is aware of the commentary about her and what's been said about her for the last year. She's aware of the whole Mercedes Moné and her little $100 messaging bullshit that she's doing, which is hilarious. The talent are online, they're looking at everything. Say they don't, but they're lying. Becky Lynch is online. Not tweeting, but she's online. All these talents, they all say they're not online, but it's a lie. They're online.
Yes, she's probably paying $100 a month
right
to.
Hilarious. Check this out.
Bailey is so confused about this. She's probably paying $100 a month to her best friend to text her.
He almost laughed. You can tell she's waiting for that line. She was waiting to get that line out. Hilarious. She was great. The entire interview, she was like talking about online commentary and online perception and what people are saying about her. She's aware of everything. She's aware of it all. Go and watch that. It's hilarious. Great. Zarya winning tonight could be interesting. You can start her heel turn slowly. She'd lose, but yes, I agree. She'd lose to Kalani Jordan. No, she'd beat Kalani Jordan. Lose to Soruka, and that would start the real heel turn, right? That could happen as well. I can see that. Another legitimate option there. Uh-oh, let's see. Oh, I think gotta head out of here, folks. That'll be the end of the stream. Unless there's some like pressing last questions you want to get off your chest. If not, hit me up on Twitter. Enjoy NXT. I think it'll be a good show. Could Kalani Jordan get rolled up tonight? Could Kalani get a roll-up win tonight? Yeah. I think Zarya. Either way, the story is Zarya will dethrone Soruka no matter what happens. Whether it's Soruka against Zarya or Soruka against Kalani Jordan at Battleground, Soruka will win and we'll get a long drawn out heel turn for Zarya. That's all that matters. And we look excited. We look forward to that. It'd be fun. All right, guys, that's it for the stream. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll see you guys later on this week. And talk to you guys later. Peace.